Hello everybody, my name is Kaylina and I am the Hex Witch, and today's video is a little bit of a book review in an unconventional way. So I think I already mentioned in one of my vlogs that I had read How to Read the Akashic Records by Linda Howe. That's what this book looks like. But me and my grandma actually love having little book chats together. So we pick a book and then we both read it and then we call each other up and we talk about it. And usually we have pretty in-depth conversations. So I figured I would let you in on that little chat today. I know it's a little bit different, but yeah, we discussed the book, and so I hope you enjoy. And here we go.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
We finally got together.
Yes, I'm sorry. I've canceled twice.
Oh, that's okay. No, one time it was me, remember? I didn't answer. I was gone. I forget what exactly happened. But anyway, you were at a tulip festival of some kind?
Yes, yeah. So we went to the Wamigo Tulip Festival. Me and Kira did. Well, TJ and Susan and I tried to go the first day, Saturday, and it was completely nasty, horrible, rainy. It was bad. We got hailed on. It was a great experience. And so then I was like, I really wanted to go. And so I was like, well, it was nice the next day, so I invited Kira out. And it was so funny because I actually kind of made a mistake, because the Tulip Festival I had bought tickets for was actually in Wichita and not Wamigo. So I don't know how I got it confused, but of course the Wichita one was supposed to have 70,000 tulips in this botanical garden. And so I was super excited about that because I'm sure that would have been absolutely stunning. But then we got to Wamigo and we were just walking around like idiots trying to find this botanical garden that didn't exist. And so we had a good laugh about that, because I didn't, mess up one day. I literally spent 8 hours driving to Wamigo between 2 days. So it was fun though.
Did you ever see any tulips?
We actually did see some. Wamigo had them kind of spread throughout town a little bit, but then we, on the way home, ran to the Tansy Gardens, I think that's what it was called, and it had a garden, had a whole bunch of tulips in bloom. So we didn't quite see 70,000, but we did see a decent amount, so.
Oh, well, that's Holland, Michigan has a big tulip festival.
Oh, how fun.
Day.
Really?
And we would go over there sometimes. So one year we went over, and you never knew, depending on the weather pattern, exactly what week they would be at their peak.
Yeah.
So we planned to go this one weekend. We got over there, and the whole town that would usually be filled with tulips, it was filled with stems.
Oh.
The stems were lining every single street because the tulips had all been early and they were all dead.
Oh, geez. Yeah, not quite the effect you were looking for.
No, you just have to find one tulip that's still on the stem.
Oh.
Anyway, whatever, we missed it that year, so I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, they're such cute little flowers, but they do not last long at all.
No, they don't. And I tried planting them here, but the deer eat tulips,
Oh.
but they don't eat daffodils.
Oh,
So
okay.
I can grow daffodils, but not tulips.
Nice. Well, daffodils are pretty too.
They are. But we're a lot later than you guys are.
Yeah,
Spring was.
that's true.
Spring here is June.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you have a little ways to go still, don't you?
We still have snow.
Yeah.
Although the snow has melted off the deck. And, well, actually, we're in the middle of selling this house.
Yes.
So we're trying to fix all these things that you don't realize are wrong until they're pointed out to you.
Right,
And
yeah.
then a couple of things, like the other day I went to open the closet in the computer room and the door fell off.
Oh
So
no.
Grandpa's trying to fix that today. And then I went to move the stuff out from under the sink for the inspector and realized that it was leaky.
Oh,
So
awesome.
it's just been like, what else can happen? And it's really hard to find people that are available to come, like right now.
Yeah.
Well, May isn't going to work, you know.
No, no.
Yeah, so it's been interesting.
So when is your official move out date?
Now, actually, we closed on this house May 17th,
Okay.
and then they gave us till June 1st
Oh, that's
to
nice.
get out of here.
Okay.
The condo that we are buying, they were trying to be nice to us and give us until June 30th to sell this house.
Oh.
And then after we signed that agreement, within 3 days, our house sold.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Well, I guess that's a good problem to have.
Hope that they will move up the date.
That would be
Well, I
nice.
don't know how all that's going to work, but sometime in June, we'll see how it works out. But
Okay.
that's okay. If we're homeless, I guess we'll just put our stuff in storage. And I just said to Jim, we'll take off and travel. We'll go do something fun after all this.
There we go. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, so, well, I'm sorry you didn't get here, and now next time you come, we'll be in a different place, but that's okay.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have a
Yeah,
experience at the new place.
that's right. And there's plenty of room. There's almost as much room as this house. So
Oh, awesome.
there'll be room for people to visit. And Evergreen's a neat place. Actually, you would enjoy just all the different shops that are in Evergreen because there's a lot of art community there.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
a lot
that.
of art things. So it's kind of like Grand Lake,
Cool.
but probably even more artsy.
Ooh, all right. Well, yeah, I would definitely enjoy that.
You definitely would.
Cool.
So this book was very interesting because I had never even heard of this.
Yeah, yeah.
Never. Past records, I had never heard of that. And very interesting. How did you first hear about it?
Just through kind of, I guess, my witchy community, so to speak. Like they throw that term out a lot, and even at work, I have some people that I know that are able to, I guess, tap into this, and so I'm like, well, it's pretty cool. I haven't attempted it myself yet, just because
Well, that was my question for you.
yeah.
You had
So like.
actually tapped into it, no?
So, like, I know there is a section here that kind of talked about the difference between, like, intuition versus the Akashic records.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
my intuition is pretty spot on, and it's getting even more so. But no, I haven't actually attempted to get into my records yet, just because I feel like I'm still learning so much about these kind of out there subjects that I want to make sure I know enough about it before I like attempt it, because I know they said it can be could almost be dangerous knowing like too much of your records, or not getting the right information. So I don't know, I'm gonna wait for a little bit until I kind of know more about it or feel more comfortable and manifesting
Right.
that.
So, but you know people that have?
Yeah. There's some people at my work that they've been doing this kind of spiritual realm for a long, long time, and yes, they have access theirs, and they can tell me past lives that they've been in, and yeah, it's really interesting. Or like I have a friend, his name is Gavin, and he works with me at the Elms, and he's been doing it a long time, but he can actually see other people's records while he's massaging. Like he gets information that comes into his mind and stuff, and he can almost like see it. Like he can tell if someone's been in a past life and like ancient China or something like that. And so it's wild. Like, he tells me
So
stories.
does he share that information
He does, yeah.
with the person?
If they want to know,
Okay.
yeah. Yep.
Well, yeah, I guess you'd have to ask.
Yeah, because some
If you
people would
want to know.
maybe not be comfortable with that, but yeah, I mean, I think
Right.
most of his clients are totally okay with that, but yeah, it's interesting.
So he doesn't actually get paid to do that. He's a massage therapist.
Yeah, he's just a massage therapist, but it's kind of funny because I mean, I feel like a lot of massage therapists are kind of, I don't know, very intuitive and very empathic and almost like medical intuitives in a way where we can just kind of sense what's going on with a person. Like today I could tell my two clients they were both going through stress. Like I could just sense it. Like, and they didn't
You
indicate.
can probably feel it in their body, in their muscles.
Yeah, yeah.
People tend to tense up.
Yes, and just the energy they were radiating, it was just like, okay, something's going on. Something very personal is going on. I didn't ask about it, but yeah, I could just tell. So I feel like massage therapists just naturally kind of have that knack. But I mean, to get it to that level, I've got a ways to go before that happens. So
Yeah, I just wondered how far you'd gotten into it.
yeah, I mean, I'll get intuitive little strikes here and there that will turn out to be accurate, but I'm finding it more within like my own life and maybe people I'm really close to, not necessarily like complete strangers yet. I haven't quite been able to tap into like other people's energy that I'm not super familiar with.
Right. But you feel when you kind of realize something about somebody, do you feel like you're invading their privacy, or you need to say something to them, or is it because they're sharing something with you? How do you get to that subject?
I mean, it kind of depends on the person. Like sometimes I feel like they're if I do come to a conclusion or something, you know, yes, I always ask their permission because some people just don't feel comfortable knowing some of that stuff. Some people are just like, no, I don't want to know. But if they are comfortable with it, then I'll mention it just to see if I am correct because, you know, it's interesting to see and if they don't mind. And sometimes I feel like,
That's true.
and sometimes I feel like the universe, like, speaks through other people who can interpret this stuff, so to let these other people know, because some people just, I mean, I feel like everybody has intuition within them and they can develop these abilities, but some people just either don't want to or they just don't even know they exist. So then to have somebody be able to interpret the information for them so that they're still getting these messages that they're supposed to be receiving, I mean, I think that can actually be quite helpful if that's, you know, what they want. That makes sense.
And exactly. So what? I mean, I always think of angel messages.
Yes, yeah.
What would be the difference?
So I think these, I mean, yeah, I think angels communicate with us too. I communicate with angels right along, especially Raphael. He talks to me. I have a relationship with him, but yeah, I think this is more, I guess maybe, you know, I don't know. That's kind of a good question because I mean the records themselves are, I think, in, I can't remember for sure. I just recently read a book that's all about the different dimensions as well, which that's super fascinating because like I can't remember if angels and the records are in the same dimension. I think the records are in like a different dimension than angels are. So I think, and obviously the records are literally, I don't know, I guess I don't think the angels maybe butt in quite as often to like tell us, I think they tell us very specific important information, maybe like more about like health and, you know, that kind of thing, but maybe not necessarily like general information about our past lifetimes.
Yeah, true. That's true. It's more of a present language to
Yeah.
help in the present moment.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, I find it interesting because, like, you'll sometimes, you know, for instance, like fears and stuff. Where do our fears come from? Because, like, for instance, I'm terrified of spiders, but I've never once had like a true terrifying experience with a spider that would make me fearful of them. So it's almost like if this concept of that we have other lives is true, maybe I had a really terrifying instance with a spider in another life and it's transferred over. I mean, that's just a small example, but you know, you gotta wonder.
Yeah, you really don't know
No.
about that. I had a grandma helper at school, and I did not know she had a fear of snakes the way she did.
Oh.
She walked in first grade classroom, and a little boy had brought in a garter snake.
Oh no.
And this poor lady, she just went crazy, and she went running out. And she said, I can't be here today. I can't be here today. And she left and went home.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I thought, oh my gosh. So I called her later when I had a chance, and she said, I am just deathly afraid of any snake. I am so sorry. I said, well, don't apologize. But, you know, no, the little boy wouldn't have known.
Right.
No.
Oh.
Set her up on purpose. But then she said that the story in her family was that when she was a tiny baby, they went camping. And they laid her down in the tent.
Yeah.
And to take a nap or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And these snakes were all over her.
Oh no. Oh my
But
goodness.
she was such a tiny baby. Of course, she has no memory of that.
Right.
And at the time, you wouldn't think that the fear would be there for such a tiny little mind, you know?
Right, but maybe the parents growing up just kind of instilled that fear in her.
Well, and it probably scared the parents.
I'm sure it did.
So therefore, she was picking up on the fear of the parents.
Yeah.
Anyway, she was like, at that point, she was like late 70s, early 80s, and she was still scared to death.
Oh.
So that's some food for thought, too, you know, things that happen to you when you're very, very little that you really wouldn't remember.
Yeah.
But it still could affect how you react, you know, as an adult.
Yeah. It's almost like it's locked in our brain some deep part of our brain that we remember these things. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of almost like survival instincts. You know, we're kind of born with survival instincts. So something that was dangerous, your mind probably remembers that for next time.
And I think we all have the innate spiritualness too.
Oh yeah.
Because that's, to me, who we really are.
Yes, yes.
The spiritual part, not the material part that dies and turns to dust or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the body doesn't last forever. If you really believe there's more to life than that, then you're talking the spiritual side.
Mm-hmm.
So I think innately that's who we are. But like you said, some people aren't a bit interested. They don't care.
Yeah.
And I've often wondered why that is. And other people are more accepting of far-out ideas.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
Yeah,
But it could be a growth thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had written down, and you got to explain the vibration part to me. Vibrational record of every soul and its journey.
Yep.
Human consciousness. Well, now I don't know why I wrote this. Human consciousness to divine universal consciousness, where we feel our oneness with the divine.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So we're all on a journey. I've always thought that.
Yes.
So maybe just our journey keeps going, and it happened before, and it's like a circle instead of a straight line.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that.
We have to Keep learning.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots to learn.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's impossible to learn everything. You've got to learn in one lifetime. I just don't know how that's even possible.
That's true.
Well, because I mean, I feel like if we're all supposed to be, working our way towards ultimate like connection with God, these people who are absolutely not spiritual at all, I have a hard time believing you only get one shot to find,
Oh, yeah, I
spirituality.
don't believe that. They're
Yeah.
about lost souls.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, not at all. I agree with that. So when you were little,
Mhm.
did you find that you were thinking of different things, say, than your sister? Or
Well,
were interested in different things? Does Kira identify with any of this, being a twin?
so it's funny you asked that because recently Kira has been kind of digging deeper into this stuff because like I think
Oh, okay.
she's seen like me and Cassie, funny enough, Cassie I think was kind of into it first, but I mean we really didn't talk about it a whole lot. But then when I went through all my stuff like 4 years ago, I had to find other stuff that was gonna get me back on track spiritually because I was so down, so low, about as low as you could go. And so I just had no belief. Like, I mean, not necessarily no belief, but it was pretty low at the time. So then I was like, okay, well, maybe I can find spirituality other places as well because it was not working for me. And so that's how I kind of started digging into all this other stuff and realizing that there are actually people out there that believe in quote unquote magic, so to speak, which honestly I feel like is just extreme manifestation, but the belief that you can kind of get what you want out of life if you have the right vibrations and the right mindset and just being more positive. And so it really it dug me out of the hole that I was in. And so I've been really digging into it. And now Kira, of course, since she's kind of been going through a lot recently, I think she's
Exactly.
kind of
Yeah.
finding it as well and realizing that yeah, crystals do help, and yeah, you can tap into the powers of the moon and manifest things. And I mean it's so cool and so vast. And you just hear of all these success stories, so to speak, with people practicing other means of spirituality and it works. So yeah, she's definitely opening up to the ideas of it. So
Oh, good.
which is
And Cassie was into it
yes.
for you.
Yeah, well, and the funny thing is, like, I remember when we were up in Nebraska and we went to the Brass Armadillo one time, and this was like years and years ago before I even started kind of looking into this stuff. But I found a book on like witchcraft, like, and not like the history of witchcraft, but like a current, like a book of practice spells or something. And I was intrigued because I was like, okay, that's interesting. This is actually like a thing. Like people actually like believe this is real. And so I read the book and I was just kind of fascinated by it. But then I think I kind of let some time go by before I actually like really started investing my time and energy into it. But yeah, even then I think, I mean, if you believe in the past lifetimes, I feel like my past lifetimes, I was very much a spiritual practitioner in a way, like a magic practitioner. But then somewhere along the line, I just kind of lost it. And now in this lifetime, I'm finding it again. So it's weird.
Yeah, that is neat.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. How much have you read about Edgar Casey, who was mentioned in this book? You know,
I'm trying.
anything about him? Because he's the one person I do know a bit about because I had a friend named Joan, and actually another friend. There were two of them that were really into him.
Oh, really? Okay.
And, yeah, they used to share things all the time that they had read, and I can't say that I ever looked any of it up myself, but I did listen to them talk about Edgar Casey, and then his name appeared in this book.
Yeah.
And it was about past lives
Mm-hmm.
and how he could, which would be the same thing, I think. He could tell people what their past lives were.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he used the same term, but that name just jumped out at me because of discussions we used to have.
Yeah.
Now, Joan died, and I can't even think of the other lady's name. Anyway, she moved, so nobody is up here anymore from my group that used to meet for lunch once a month.
Oh.
Yeah, we used to read books. Well, this would be one somebody might bring, and then we'd talk about it, Or
Yes.
we'd pick a subject,
Yeah.
and then everybody do their own research and come to lunch, and we had some great discussions. So.
See, that's awesome. That's great.
The way I met Joan was really strange. We went on a backpacking trip,
Yeah.
and it was when we first moved here. We didn't really know these people very well. And on the backpacking trip was a Catholic. Now, he wasn't really a priest, what do you call it, deacon.
Oh,
He was
okay.
married.
Yeah.
He was married, but he was the next thing under a priest, and he worked at the church. That's what he did. And so that night, around the fire, he was talking, I don't know exactly the subjects, but Catholic beliefs, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to go back to the Tims, and Joan came up to me and said, "You didn't believe a word he said, did you?" And I said, "Actually, no, I don't believe like that."
Yeah.
She said, "Neither do I."
Yeah.
And that's how we became friends.
That's so funny. Yeah, I mean,
I know.
you can be whatever religion you want to be, and I'm totally cool with it. But yeah, I've just not gone along with the Catholic viewpoint.
No,
It's too rigid and for me, and a
Yeah.
spoonful of guilt with everything that they do, and I'm just like, that's not the way to live. That's not how God wants you to live. Like,
Well, and really, what they're telling you, I think, is that you can't have a direct relationship with God.
Yes.
You have to go through the priest. And
exactly.
The church,
And I'm like, I'm
which
sorry.
I totally disagree with.
Right. I'm like, the priest is not any more special than me, okay? I mean, selfishly, I believe that.
Exactly.
And so I'm like, why am I going to sit here and confess all my deepest, darkest secrets to another human being? No. I will talk to God myself. And guess what? God already knows everything I've been up to. So,
Exactly. That's right.
yeah. But I'm like, you can believe
and God
what you
knows
want.
the downfalls of the priest.
Exactly.
People either.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
how
funny.
do you think this idea of the records fits in with the Christian belief that Jesus was teaching? I'm not talking Catholic Church, but
right.
what Jesus said. Did you ever think about that?
I mean, a little bit, because obviously Christianity is strong in my background. But yeah, I mean, I guess I just go back to the thought that, for all in the image and likeness of Jesus, and Jesus had all these so-called abilities and kind of, kind of powers, And so I kind of believe that if we're in his image and likeness, we probably have the same abilities. And I'm guessing, Jesus had tons of abilities of being able to tell people about themselves. And he had all these just...
Oh, yeah, he knew without even talking to somebody.
Yeah, so I kind of feel like... I just feel like he, obviously, son of God, but... So he would have these abilities, but I feel like we all kind of do as well. It's just most of us don't tap into it.
I think that was his message.
Yeah.
I think he was demonstrating what he understood about God.
Yeah.
And he felt his oneness with God so much that he didn't get caught up in any of the human.
Yeah.
And because of his view, that's how he could tell what was going on with people, and that's how he could heal. That's what I think, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
He told us, it says, we can go on to do the same, even greater works.
Yeah.
But I think it comes down to understanding.
Right.
Really understanding.
Right.
That oneness.
Yes. Yes. And yeah, it kind of, I mean, obviously, like when it talks about the vibrations and stuff, I mean, Jesus was vibrating on an extremely high level. Like, I mean, I'm kind of going back to the other book I've been reading, The Waking Up in 5D. It's the concept that we live in a very 3D world, but if you can get into 5D, it's almost as if you're in heaven on earth, if that makes sense. So like everything is just, it's not that you don't care about anything, it's just that you trust. Like you have the absolute faith that everything is going to work out, and you just don't worry as much. You just let things kind of fall into place, and you trust that the oneness with God is going to work out. And so like I've been trying to work on that, because everyone knows that one person where it's like the worst crap could be happening in their life, and they're still just like, it'll be okay, it'll work out. It's like they just have this absolute trust with God that things are just gonna be okay. And I'm like, and I always used to be kind of like, oh, okay, well, that's great for you that you believe that, but now I'm starting to really try to wrap my mind around that. And I have found that the minute I start getting stressed out, I'm just like, okay, what can I control? What can I not control? And the rest of it, I just have to let go of. Like, I just have to let go of it and just assume that however it's going to work out, it's going to work out. So.
Yep, I totally believe it's not that easy to do sometimes.
No. Definitely not. Yeah, but it's like, and I mean, yeah, I kind of feel like, I don't know, if you like really sit in quiet and kind of listen in like the quiet moments, you almost get like a for sure knowing whether something will or will not work out the way you think it's going to work out. Like, it's very interesting. Like, there's times where I know for sure that something is going to happen. Like, and it can be something super simple, but it's like I know for certain. And so I feel like that's definitely spirit communicating with me. So.
Yep, and you're listening.
Yes.
And you're being aware. I think that's the way I look at it. You have to be still, and then you have to be aware of the good that's already there.
Yeah.
And tap into it.
Yeah.
And get your thoughts off of whatever the problem is.
Yep.
Because that gets you nowhere.
No. No, it doesn't.
No.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, I believe that too. I remember in the Bible it says, be still and know that I am God.
Yeah.
So that's that understanding. Know. Really, really trust, like you said.
Yeah.
But our mind is like going 100 miles an hour.
Yes.
Then we're not able to focus on that. So that's the slow part.
Well, and like, yeah. And our society has us so conditioned to think certain ways and feel certain ways and do this and do that. It's like they don't even teach you, like, to literally sit and like quiet yourself for even just 10 minutes a day. Like they don't, it's always, what can you do next? What can you do next?
That's true.
Fill up your schedule to the brink of, exhaustion. And it's like, people can't continue living like that. They have got to find a balance between everything they want to do and to allow themselves to be quiet at times.
Yeah, that's true. I have trouble with that balance.
Yeah, I mean, everyone does.
Because I have so many things I want to do.
Yeah.
But I find early morning has become my best time.
Oh, yes.
I wake up early and it's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And if I use that time to study and pray, answers actually come to me.
Yeah.
About things that I've been worried about,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's how it works.
Well, I liked a lot of the things that she said in this book
Yeah.
about light and the divine, the oneness.
Yeah.
I totally agree with all that.
Yeah, I definitely feel like she has, I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, that she definitely did kind of have a little bit more of a maybe Christian side of it. And so I did find that kind of interesting that she was tying in something that is a little bit more just like openly spiritual with the Christianity side. So.
Yeah, I thought that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. Well, I don't really have suggestions for the next time for you.
Okay.
But you're reading the 5-Dimension book?
Yeah.
What's that one called?
It's called Waking Up in 5D, and it's by Maureen J. Saint Germain. Maureen.
Oh, Maureen. Okay.
Yep. And then J. Saint Germain.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a really interesting read. It's kind of one of those mind bogglers where, and I 100% like agree with a lot of what she's saying, but I was like, this really makes your mind think. So.
Well, that sounds good. Well, maybe I'll get that book.
Okay.
Unless you have another idea. I didn't really have one
No.
for you this time around.
No,
but
right.
Next time I'll have one to recommend to you.
Okay, cool.
But, yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy all those different books and different thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
We're always, as far as I'm concerned, always learning.
Yes, that's for sure.
I feel in my life I've seen so many proofs that I just know what's true. Not that I can always demonstrate it, but I know when you look back, especially as long I've had a lot of life.
Yeah.
And it's the way things go together that you're not aware of at the time.
Right.
And someone recently gave me an article about jigsaw pieces.
Oh.
And life is like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yep.
The pieces all do fit.
They do.
But sometimes it takes us a while to find them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like that thought. Just keep looking.
Yep.
Because it does fit. And all this moving stuff is like, oh my gosh, way too many pieces. And how is it all going to fit? Well,
Yeah.
We don't know yet, but I know it will. And then we'll be able to look back and say, oh yeah, that's how it was working.
Yes. Yes. Just take it.
Try not to get stressed out about it and worry about it.
Yeah. One piece at a time.
Yeah, one piece at a time. And it's all good.
Yes.
I see it. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes we worry about things. This is a funny example. We worry about things that are nothing to worry about. So our roof in the front, at this time of the year when all the snow is melting off the roof, it causes this big pile of ice. It drips off the roof, and right in front of the garage is this big pile of ice.
Oh my.
So I'm thinking, the inspector, I know, they're probably going to tell him, you don't want to live here because this is a roof problem, blah, blah, blah. And so I was trying to see through that wasn't going to stop us. And so when the inspection report came, it had about the roof, but guess what? About the back side of the house.
Oh gosh.
Which I never even thought about.
Yeah.
I knew it dripped off of there, but
oh, how funny.
everything I worried about, he never said one word about the ice pile. And he said it needed a gutter in the back, which gutters don't work up here, but they don't know that, I guess. But anyway, it's so funny. It's like it made me laugh because Like, okay, I spent all that time worrying about something that didn't even end up in the report, but something else did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, oh God.
Funny how
So
that works.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, I'll look for 5D.
All right.
Fun talking.
It was good talking to you too.
Yeah, so hang in there, keep learning.
Will do. You do the same. Love you.
Okay. All righty.
Bye.
Talk to you later.
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Love you too. Bye-bye.
So I hope you enjoyed our little book chat today. It was great to talk to her. We had to reschedule like twice because of different things that came up. So I was really glad I got to talk to her today and catch up on our book reads. Yeah, so I think that's all I've got for you today. As always, if you like my content, please consider giving it a like, please subscribe, and ring that notification bell. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye, friends.